What's up everyone? Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Today we're taking a look at Polkadot and its recent price action, and make sure to watch the video till the end for a price prediction for the short and the long term as well. First things first, please smash the likes, subscribe and hit the bell icon. YouTube is not pushing crypto content out currently and our subscribers aren't getting notifications, so make sure to join our free Telegram to stay up to date with all of our videos as they are posted, links in the description. It really helps if you hit the like. We're posting 4 videos per day, so come back every day for daily updates and analysis. And make sure to comment down below for your chance to win a hardware wallet in our new monthly giveaway. We'd also like to thank you all so much for your support. We've just hit 10k subscribers, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. This is not financial advice. Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Let's begin. What's up guys, so just before we begin, we've had many reports that our subscribers aren't seeing our content, and this is most likely because you haven't hit the real subscribe button, which is the bell icon with all notifications turned on. Give it a tap now, turn on all notifications, and you'll most likely see most of our videos being posted. Also, if you want to support the channel, make sure to tap that like, it really helps us out. We're posting 4 videos per day, so make sure to check back every single day for daily updates. So we're just taking a look at Polkadot here, and as you can see, things haven't been great recently, have they? We've basically been stuck under a resistance from what we can tell ever since we had the big crash here. You can see that we've come up and touched this area multiple times and actually got rejected. So it does seem as though we are continuing to roll over. Obviously with the wider market, Bitcoin is currently at around 32.5k, I believe. Basically having a bit of a rollover over the past few days, and that has led to most altcoins shedding some value as well. So it does seem as though obviously we had this kind of ascending wedge here for Polygon, where we were kind of making some headway to the upside, but not really. And then obviously once we hit this resistance in combination with Bitcoin having that correction, we've obviously come back down and retested the lows here, haven't we? So we've actually come down to the lows here and bounced so far today, but it does look as though we are making actually more lows here for Polkadot. So obviously it's been shedding a ton of value in this massive dip, hasn't it? If we just take a look at how much it's actually lost now, down around almost 75% of its value. That is a big drop. That's much more than Cardano and much more than Ethereum and Bitcoin. So it's pretty clear that Polkadot's getting absolutely crushed in the market recently. And it does look as though we are, on our daily time frame here, basically stuck under the 20 moving average, aren't we? And until we can get back above that, we are just going to keep rolling over, most likely something like this. So it is a bit of a concern how Polkadot has basically continued to shed value and roll over. I think one of the main reasons for this may be the fact that their ecosystem isn't actually online yet. Obviously their main net's coming very soon, but they don't have anywhere near as much hype as Cardano does in terms of its community. Cardano's actually been holding really well in this recent downturn in the market that we have seen, and I think this is largely because of the strong community and also just the general amount of hype, and there's a lot more speculation surrounding Cardano than Polkadot from what we can tell. So it does seem as though Cardano's, I think it's down around 40 something percent in comparison to Polkadot's 75%. So pretty clear that Cardano is currently trading a lot better in terms of strength than Polkadot is. So it does look as though, Polkadot has basically been making lower lows, really, hasn't it? It's been stuck under this resistance here, and we are just basically rolling over, testing the low, rolling over, testing the low, and now we've rolled over and tested the low again. And if this is the case and we are forming this kind of a descending triangle like this, it's sooner or later we are going to see that break to the downside if that's the case. But obviously there's a lot of factors that come into confluence here, such as obviously Bitcoin. We've currently been ranging for a long time for Bitcoin, and this causes pretty much all the altcoins to bleed. But as we said, the technical target for this would be absolutely enormous if this broke down in a conventional sense for a descending triangle here. We don't think that that's probably going to be the case, considering that one big pump for Bitcoin could start seeing the whole market pick up again. So really what we're doing right now is we're waiting on Bitcoin to decide which direction it's going to go in. And obviously if Bitcoin does continue to roll over and retest the low 30s again, maybe 30k or so, then we are going to see Polkadot probably rolling over even more, despite coming only down to here before when we did test our lows previously. But we are getting ridiculously oversold recently. And as we keep saying with all cryptos, the sooner or later on higher time frames, the more oversold that we get, the more chance of that reversal. And as you can see, we're getting pretty damn oversold. We haven't been this oversold in a good while. We obviously got got down to these kinds of levels here on our 4 hourly time frame, as you can see. We did get a decent bounce to the upside when we came down to here, so if that's the case, we could potentially see a little pickup here, and if we did break this resistance that we've been stuck under for Polkadot here, we could be looking at some very nice upside if that's the case. It's really important to really important to break resistances. Obviously, we're basically stuck here right now until we can get back above this line of resistance, maybe back test it as support, and then start making our way up again for Polkadot, because its price action has been pretty weak recently, as we can see. And if we take a quick look at the RSI, we did outline this line here, which has actually been happening for Bitcoin as well on its RSI, where essentially the RSI is coming down and down and down and down and down and losing so much strength. But we are actually not quite getting oversold yet. There actually might be a big bullish divergence here with our RSI on the daily time frame. This is a similar thing to what's happening with Bitcoin, where we basically had a big plunge to the downside where the RSI was absolutely in the floor, and then obviously we've come down further, but the actual strength of the price action to the downside is weakening. So I mean, as you can see, our price action continues to roll over here, but our RSI looks as though it's holding strong and potentially even starting to trend upwards, something like this. So there is going to come a point where the RSI here is going to have to decide which way it wants to go. If we're going to have a big crash which takes us into oversold territory and then a potential big bounce off of that, or if we do start to basically pick up off the bottoms here and start to make our way up. So a quick look at the hourly time frame just to get an idea of what's going on in the short term. As we said, we did have this ascending triangle here, this ascending wedge, which we did break down out of once we touched this resistance twice here. You can see that we actually touched the resistance perfectly and the top of the wedge. We had the big rejection to the downside of the wedge, and then obviously once we saw Bitcoin starting to roll over, we did roll out of this pattern here, and basically we've rolled to the downside, haven't we? So broken to the downside, and then ever since we did that, we flipped our EMAs, and then we've been stuck under the 20 all the way down, haven't we? So we're currently bouncing off the bottoms here, forming what seems to be a decent bottom here, and now we're trying to break back up above these 20 moving averages. On our hourly time frame here, you can quite clearly see that we're stuck under this. We've basically been stuck under this ever since we basically flipped bearish here, didn't we? And we chopped it sideways, got rejected, and now we're just rolling over, aren't we? So obviously the short term, not looking great for Polkadot right now. It's pretty obvious that we're basically continuing to roll over here underneath this resistance, and until we break this resistance here, it's very unlikely, in our opinion, that we're probably going to see any upside for Polkadot, because obviously we're just going to keep rolling over basically. So we do need to see Bitcoin basically having a big pickup and maybe some big bullish news for Polkadot as well, because it's quite clear, even with the recent move to the upside that we have seen for Bitcoin before it did correct again, we've basically just been slowly rolling over, haven't we? We've been ranging here for Polkadot, you could say, but we are in danger of losing this support here. This support at around $13, and if we did lose this support, we'd probably be looking at another level of support, maybe down here around $10. Good psychological resistance perhaps, basically to come down here, retest this before we get the bounce and the pickup, most likely, because as we said, we do think we're still in a bull market, and it's only going to take Bitcoin pumping $5,000 or $10,000 in one day or a few days for pretty much all altcoins to reverse out of these trends that they're in. So everyone's feeling really super bearish right now, and everyone thinks everything, the bull market's over, everything's going to zero, etc., but we just don't see that, and we will continue to tell you what we see. Obviously, it's highly likely by now, even though it doesn't seem as though we have the 55 moving average for Polkadot here. It's probably likely that the 55 is looking something like this, and we're basically losing the 55 right now because it's been shedding so much value. So we do need to see Polkadot basically getting a pickup and coming up and at least retesting this 20 moving average, or we could be looking at potentially Polkadot continuing to roll over underneath this resistance. So things in the short term, not looking ideal for Polkadot. Obviously, it's been rolling over, and it will continue to do this until Bitcoin gets its pickup that it needs for basically, Polkadot to be getting a decent run up. But if we just take a look at the Fibonacci extensions, and we can get an idea of some price, if this is the bottom here, as many people believe it is, could basically get an idea of some price targets that we could be looking at with our Fibonacci extension here. If we just take a quick look at this, we can get an idea of what we might be looking at. I mean, as you can see, some of these levels here have been respected pretty well inside of this the correction that we've had recently. Obviously, we've been basically stuck under this resistance here, or the 0.61, you could say, basically acting as resistance. We have been coming down using these fibs as support and resistance here for a good while, as you can see, but we've basically been rolling over underneath this wider resistance. But obviously in the long term, we do think Polkadot's going to do very well, and we do think it's going to reach at least $200 by the end of the bull run, which would be around a 20x or 15 or 20x from the current price. This is a really, really top project, and once the fundamentals do start to kick in, its smart contract launch does start to actually be released, and all the projects that are made for Polkadot, like Polkadex and all these kinds of different protocols, do start to get ported over onto it. We do strongly think that Polkadot is going to start to grow very, very fast, and obviously it already got to around $50, so $200 doesn't seem unlikely whatsoever, and we would realistically think that maybe $300 or $400 would be much more likely in terms of the value that it's offering. So that's our update today, guys. We'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please let us know down in the comments section below. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can keep up to date with all of our videos. Remember to comment down below and be subscribed to enter into our brand new monthly giveaway for a hardware wallet. If you'd like to support the channel more directly, please sign up to our Patreon via the link in the description below, or sign up to YouTube membership by hitting the join button right next to the sub below this video, where you can get access to our private Discord. We're offering coin calls, one-to-one access to us personally, insight into our personal portfolio, daily research of crypto assets with massive potential, and access to our brand new 100x portfolio. With so many benefits, you might as well check it out below. Don't forget to get 2 free stocks with Webull by signing up and then depositing $100 using our link in the description below. You can quite literally deposit the $100, get your 2 free stocks, and then withdraw the money, so there's no reason not to do that, and they could be valued all the way up to $1,600 each. But don't forget to actually deposit as well after signing up, otherwise you won't receive the second stock. Scammers get worse every day, so make sure to protect yourself and your crypto online with PureVPN. Sign up below for some big discounts. You can get access to block content and protect yourself from phishing scams with super low monthly payments and high quality speeds. You can also sign up to our free Telegram via the description as well. All the links are in the description for affiliate links for discounts and free crypto, so go check them all out below. There's plenty of goodness on offer. Please like and subscribe. We are Crypto Maximalists.